Hello everyone, how have you been? I hope you guys are doing fine. So today we have a very significant topic to discuss, which are emails. So initially when we started off with academic and professional writing, we knew that we are going to be introduced to a lot of genres of academic writing. We began with projects and projects reports and all, and then we moved on to professional writing. Firstly, we were introduced to CVs or resumes, and then we came to formal letters, and now we have emails. Emails are already something that you are very familiar with. You probably have written a handful of emails in your life also, and when you become graduates of this course and try for employment and all, you would have to write a lot of emails. And even if you are going for higher studies within your campus itself, a lot of the communication that happens will be through emails itself. So it's very essential that you develop a kind of skill to craft emails really well. So what are the major differences between traditional mail and emails? Traditional mails are a bit more strict when it comes to form, and the language is also slightly more complex, and the structure is also a bit more complex. That is, you would have longer paragraphs, and also salutations would be a bit more ornated. But when it comes to emails, you have this freedom to be a bit more flexible, and you need not have very formal salutations or very formal conclusions, or you need not use very complex and subtle language also. You can use very simple, easy to use everyday language. Emails are in a way the modern man's way of communicating officially. That is, the language that we use on an everyday scale is becoming the official language of organizations, even educational institutions, for example. Now, when you craft an email, it's not like you draft a formal letter, is it? You do not, go for very complex addresses like maybe for the information of such and such people, but rather you might just write hello sir or dear sir, and then you might just begin your content. And even while concluding also, not that much ornated words are used, but rather you might just say warm regards, thanking you, thanks and regards, wishing you all the best, similar kinds of things. And if you look at it, learning the basics or a basic structure is there for every email that you draft. If you're using an email app like Gmail or Yahoo, all those layouts are already there. You just need to fill in all the information. First of all, there will be a section where you type in the name of the recipient to whom you want to send the email, and then there would be a CC field, which is carbon copy. Imagine that you want to send the same email to many people. You can send copies. In the CC field, you just need to type the email IDs of those people, and beneath that you might find a column called BCC. BCC means that blind carbon copy. Imagine that you do want to send all these emails to many people, but you don't want the other people to know that the same mail has been sent to many people. So you can use this option BCC, and then you have the most important part, which is the subject line. Most of the time when somebody opens their inbox, their email inbox, the very first thing that they might notice is the subject line itself. So the subject line has to communicate what kind of an email it is, whether it's an urgent email or whether it's a professional email, whether it's a personal one, or what actually do you want to communicate through that email should be very briefly described in the title itself. A properly written title would actually help you attract the attention of the receiver, and a properly drafted email might just get you a job even. Okay, so imagine that you are to write an email. What are the things that you will note or keep in mind before drafting an email? Of course, you will think about the subject line, and when it comes to the body, what will you do? Will you write really long paragraphs just like you write a formal letter and use very complex vocabulary? No, you should keep it as simple as possible, very simple, everyday, ordinary language, and very ordinary salutations. Just like you might see a teacher in your classroom and greet them. You're greeting them very not strictly formally, but even then that politeness and respect is still there. So having this balance of politeness but simplicity is very important when composing an email. So you have written out a salutation which is dear sir or respected sir, or then you might write the reason for writing the email very precisely. You do not beat around the bush. Up to the point it should be, you write the reason. respected sir, I am writing this email in regard with this, whatever the reason would be, or I am writing this email to apply for such and such a post. Whatever your reason for writing is mentioned initially itself, so that the reader understands it and they can decide whether to continue reading or not. And then in the body, you do not elaborate much, but in very short and simple words, you write down what actually you want to do with the why this email has been drafted, or the main contents of the email. And then you sign off by saying some form of closing statement like regards or warm regards, and then you might write your name and designation below. It's as simple as that. And some tips which you can put in can be like you can highlight certain aspects which you want that person to note, or you can also attach a lot of multimedia files if you need to. And then imagine that you have the freedom to use standard abbreviations like ASAP, etc. Standard abbreviations, for example, Mr. All those standard abbreviations you can use, but don't use abbreviations which you use while you're texting. Like probably you want to write with, WITH, you might abbreviate it as WTH, or you want to write could, you might just write it as CUD, which is something that you try when you're texting your friends and all. Those kinds of abbreviations are not what I'm talking about, but you can use very standard abbreviations like ASAP or PFA, which is please find attached. These kinds of standard abbreviations can be used. So what I want you to do is, I have given in the description of the video a link where you might find a lot of sample emails, and you can go through those sample emails and make some strategy of your own. Don't blindly follow other examples, because you have a niche of communicating on your own. The kind of words that you use could be entirely different from the kind of words that another person would use. And also if it's a very important email, be in the habit of planning your emails prior to typing them out and sending them, because there should be a flow to ideas. That is, you should not mention one point in one paragraph and mention another entirely different point in the same paragraph itself, but rather there should be a kind of logical flow to it. One idea should lead to the other, and it should feel like it's been narrated like a story, so that the reader enjoys reading the email. So it communicates a lot of things very quickly, and of course, because of the growth of technology, it is probably one of the most fast, or one of the fastest modes of communicating these days. So you should make best of these technological advancements, especially during these lockdowns. A lot of things can be done. You might have queries that you want to send to other educational institutions, or you might want to know more about higher studies, or you might want to communicate a lot with your teachers. You might be texting them all the time and bugging them. Stop doing that. Probably you can send an email asking them personally, when will be the respected sir or madam, my name is this, and I'd like to know when the exams would be. Warm regard. This would be very nice of you if you can do that, because phones are flooding with WhatsApp messages all the time. So make it a habit to communicate through emails in educational and professional context, and you will slowly develop this style of your own. And somebody who can draft good emails in the present communication era can actually become very successful. So all the best in your email writing. Don't forget to check the link in the description and check out all those samples and start writing and developing this habit of writing emails. So all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.